I loved your new TED Talk, and I just wondered if you could comment on how you've built your house on the rock and what that means to you right now in your life and how it's kind of brought you back to center.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I gave a talk about finding your home in the world and staying in it regardless of failure and success, and about how failure and success are sort of extremes of the same continuum, both of which knock you very far off your center. It's sort of an absolute value. So that's why people get disoriented by success just as much as by failure. And in both cases, it's the same remedy, which is that you have to find your way back to what I call your home. And your home is whatever in this world you love more than you love yourself, because that's where your ego doesn't abide. Is when you love something enough that you're out of your own ego with it. And for me, that's always been writing, and I'm so grateful that I have that home. And it's always been the answer. Returning to writing was the answer when I got rejection letters for 6 years, and returning to writing was the answer after the phenomenon of Eat, Pray, Love, and returning to writing is the answer now. It just seems abundantly clear to me that you're only responsible for your labor and your passion toward that labor, and the outcome is none of your business, because it's certainly not under your control. So if you can find something to do that you love enough that the work itself is its own reward, then you're a bit liberated from the hurricanes of outcome.
Right over there.
Good evening, Liz. I wonder if you would speak a little bit about your amateur exorcism rituals and any other rituals that you may have found useful.
Okay, let's get freaky. You're allowed to make up rituals. You don't have to have them given to you by the principal of the school, and organized religion is, of course, the great principle of the school that tells you these are the rituals that you have to do. And some of those can be very comforting and very wonderful. If they don't suit and they don't work for you, then you get to make up your own. And I've made up a number of them in my life that I have. I have a ritual on the first day of every year. I get up very early and I go for a walk until I see an animal, and that animal is my totem for the year. And I decide to base my year upon the first animal that I see every new year. Except for one year I saw a fox, and it was so great that I decided it's my totem forever, and I don't do that ritual anymore because I don't want to replace it with like a goose, a Canada goose. So you can also finish your ritual when you're done with it. Look, we're here to find meaning, and meaning is the way that we make sense out of chaos. And whatever you need to do to get there, you can do. I have a friend who had a terrible, enmeshed, destructive relationship with her mother, and it had tormented her whole life. And she went through therapy, and she did all this work that she needed to do. But she said one day she just invented a ritual about it, where she just had a single candle, and she had 2 other candles, and she lit one, and she held it up, and she said, "This is my mother." She lit the other one, she said, "This is me," and she blew out the one in the middle. And she was like, we are 2 separate entities. And something about like textualizing that made it sink in a way that she had never really been able to grasp before, and that is what ritual can do for you. So make up whatever you need to make up to transition safely from one point in your life to the next.